Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up today participating in a Christmas Aussie YouTube hop. So there are prizes, there's lots of prizes this time around, so all you have to do is hop along to everybody. The link will be in the description box down below, and leave a comment. We would love it if you'd like and subscribe to us too, but you know, you just have to leave a comment and interact, and you know, you can win something from our awesome sponsors. So for my video today, I'm actually making a DIY shadow box for my sister's crafty advent calendar. So I purchased a shadow box. This one I think it's from Kmart, Big W, one of those, Reject Shop, one of those. I've already cut out these house scenes which used the Edgelet Dyes Hometown Greetings from Stampin' Up, and I purchased a cheap set of LED lights. They were about $3 I think, and they were either from Kmart, Big W or the Reject Shop. I have ones from each of those. So I've cut out a little piece of vellum from my stash which has snowflakes on it. Now I know it's Australia. While I was filming this video, I'm pretty sure it was like 35 degrees. So that's Celsius. So it's hot. It's hot in Australia for Christmas. We don't have snowflakes. But the vellum paper was just so cute. And everything Christmas related is winter themed. It's just all winter themed. Anyway, it annoys me, but that's okay. So I am using glue dots to stick down the LED lights, and hopefully they won't move. It's not as permanent as some other types of glue, but because I didn't know if I could use sort of liquid glue or anything with the LED lights, so glue dots it is. They're not supposed to get hot or anything, set anything on fire, so hopefully it will be fine. So this process does take a bit of time, and I've only sped this video up twice by 2 though, so it wasn't overall a super long process. You know, it took me all up about 20 minutes I think to put everything together. Now obviously I'd already cut everything, and that did take a little bit of time. It's fiddly rather than hard. So yeah, so I'm just sticking down all the glue dots. I'm trying to space them out a little bit. If I was to do this again, I would do this differently. Because I have 3 layers of cardstock to go at the bottom, you don't end up really seeing the lights that are on the bottom, so I would have probably kind of weaved them in between the layers. But it's already done, and it's already stuck together, and it's already been gifted to my sister, hence why you are watching this tutorial. So you can see me there just testing the lights and what they look like, and I'm just sort of pushing everything down. I need to trim up the houses because they were a little bit long, so they were the right size for the shadow box, but because I need the houses to sit to nestle in between, like sort of in the middle of the frame rather than be held by the edge of the plastic, I needed to trim it down a bit, and you can see me measuring it there. Like, I didn't measure, I just eyeballed it and kept trying, and you know, trimming a little bit off here and there. I was trying to trim it evenly from both ends because I didn't want to cut one of the houses in half. So you can see there that that one is done. So I'm just sort of roughly measuring that and sort of trying to guess how much I'm going to have to cut off the others. And I make a little mistake here, and I don't trim the 3rd piece. I don't know why. I was just in La La Land, obviously, thinking that I'll come back and do that later. Well, I should have done it right then. Anyway, I am just working out now how I am going to attach this, and so I do need to stick down the wire a bit because it's sticking up a bit high. So I do just get some double-sided tape and stick down some of the wires in the areas where you can't see. And I'll use a glue dot up the top to stick some of the wires down in the bits that you can see. So here I am, just trying to stick everything down. And in actual fact, I think I was restarting a YouTube video. I listen and watch YouTube while I'm crafting, which is a fun thing to do, and it helps me kind of have something on in the background while I'm crafting, and lets me watch what other people are crafting, and it's quite inspiring. But you know what happens is in the middle of a video when I'm filming, I need to go back and restart something or click on the new video or whatnot. So you can see here, back to the shadow box frame, I'm just trying to stick everything down and keep it sort of not too high, so that I can you know, put the layers of cardstock over the top. So what I've decided to do this time around is actually stick the different layers on top of the kind of biggest layer, before I then stick the bigger layer onto the background. So I've made one of these before in a 12 by 12 size, and it was very big. It was a little cumbersome actually, and I found it a little bit difficult to work with, so I decided to try the smaller version. Oh, this was the mistake where I hadn't trimmed down this piece. So I'm just trimming it down now because I went to stick the other one on top, and of course I hadn't trimmed it down. So I had to pull it back up and trim it down and see how we go, and I only just made it without having to cut anything off, which was good. So here I am now attaching the layers onto each other before I then attach the layered section to the shadow box itself, and just figuring out, you know, how many dimensionals I can put on it for starters. Using up all my little bits of dimensionals there. So I didn't want to cut anything out, but I probably could have to make this video a bit shorter for you all. However, what I did really want to do is just show you how easy these are to make. I think I do see them online a fair bit, and I've always thought, oh, they look so impressive and they must be so difficult, but they're really not. So long as you've got something to cut out, you know, the background with, and I happen to have my dies from Stampin' Up, but anything that sort of creates that scenery will, you know, create the same effect. It really is simple. You saw me testing it and it didn't fit very nicely in the frame, so I just needed to trim it just slightly, and to do that I used scissors because I'd already layered it all up. And now I'm just adding some dimensionals straight onto the background, as you can see here, and I'm sort of putting them in between where the wire is, and at this point is when I think I need to stick some double-sided tape down to hold some of these things in place. And so I start to do that and hold down some of the kind of bigger bits of wires. So I don't peel off the double-sided tape, I leave it. And I would have used sticky tape, but I don't have any in my office, so double-sided tape it is. Could have used washi, but what I do find with washi is it's not actually very sticky, so washi possibly wouldn't have worked that well, and you might have been able to see it through the layers of cardstock, whereas with the double-sided tape, the backing is white anyway, so you can't see it. So I'm pulling off the top of the dimensionals. I'm layering up 2 dimensionals high for this. I should have done 3. It wasn't quite high enough to sort of nicely sit above the lights. It was almost high enough, but not quite. So you can see me here just adding another layer of dimensionals and then peeling off the top, and then I'm going to stick the scenery on top of it. Now the thing that you have to be careful of is leaving enough room for the edge of the shadow box to fit, because there is about a 1/4 inch kind of overlap of the frame. And then I just tuck the wire out the side. There's enough room that it can just tuck out from behind. So really I'm just testing this. So you can see me test it out, and I've noticed that it's not stuck down properly, the background. So I'm just undoing it again and making sure that that's really stuck nicely, and I've kind of missed a bit, so I'm going to add an extra dimensional in to try and get it all to stick down nicely. So yeah, you can see me there just making sure, pushing down to make sure it's sort of connected with all of the dimensionals, and I've missed a little spot, so I'm going to add another couple of dimensionals there. And I think on this one I actually add 3 because I knew that there was no chance it was going to stick. Oh no, I only add 2. There you go. So I've just had to re-stick that just to make sure it looks aesthetically pleasing in the frame, and now I am going to put it all together, and then that's done. This tutorial is done. I hope you've liked it. Click down to the next person in the hop, who I think is Amy, if you click and follow the link to her video, and comment on her video to be in the draw. You need to go through, hop along to everybody's and have a look and visit everyone's videos and see the wonderful things that all the Aussie YouTubers have created. So thanks guys, and we'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye!